Hey guys, George here from Zero Peer Productions, and today I'm talking about the system requirements for the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition on PC. I'll be showing the minimum and recommended specs for Special Edition, as well as comparing them to the original version of Skyrim from 2011. Starting off with Special Edition, to run the game you will need Windows 7, 8, or 10, and your operating system will have to be a 64-bit version. This really isn't too surprising, and I don't think any devs are supporting older operating systems at this point. You'll need an i5 750 or an AMD Phenom 2 X4-945, along with 8 gigs of RAM, an NVIDIA GTX 470 1GB of VRAM, or AMD HD 7870 2GB, and 12 gigs of hard drive space to install the game. All in all, this is a very fair set of requirements to run the game. For reference, the GTX 470 came out in 2010, and the i5 750 came out in late 2009. It's nice to see that the minimum to run Special Edition isn't too taxing, and even if you built your computer around the time Skyrim came out nearly 5 years ago, you should still be able to play the remastered version. Moving on to the recommended specs, the Special Edition calls for the same operating system, an Intel i5 2400 or an AMD FX-8320, 8 gigs of RAM, an NVIDIA GTX 780 or AMD R9 294GB, and of course, the same 12 gigs of hard drive space to install the game. The i5 2400 came out in 2011 and the GTX 780 came out in 2013, once again showing that even to run Skyrim Special Edition at the recommended level does not require a relatively new build. Even comparing the requirements to Fallout 4, Skyrim Special Edition requires less processing power, although it's fair to assume that the Special Edition of Skyrim is running on a more updated version of the creation engine, likely very similar to the one being used by Fallout 4, given Special Edition's built-in mod support. Now, let's take a look at Skyrim's requirements. This is for when the game originally came out back in 2011, nearly 5 years ago. At a minimum, the game required Windows 7, Vista, or XP, either a 32 or 64-bit version. For CPU, you would need any sort of dual-core at 2.0 GHz, 2 GB of system RAM, 6 GB of hard drive space, and a DirectX compatible sound card. At recommended, the game called for 4 gigs of RAM, any DirectX 9.0C compatible video card, with 1 gig of VRAM, such as the GTX 260 or Radeon 4890. When you compare this to Skyrim Special Edition, you clearly need a much better build if you expect to run the game at high. Still, if you are able to run Skyrim at a pretty good graphics setting, not even at Ultra, you shouldn't have any trouble with Special Edition. One thing I noticed was that the 2011 version of Skyrim is 6 gigs, with Special Edition at 12, doubling the amount of hard drive space required. Now bear in mind, Special Edition comes bundled with the 3 DLCs, and the remainder of that space is likely due to new textures and features. 12 gigs for a game that came out in 2016 is incredibly reasonable, and even Fallout 4, which came out last year, required 30 gigs of free hard drive space. Skyrim Special Edition releases October 28th on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. If you have Skyrim and its 3 DLCs on PC, you'll receive a copy of the Special Edition for free. I'll be getting Special Edition both on PC and Xbox One to show off mods, and I'll be comparing the two versions when they release to see how the console version stacks up. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.